रानी की जय, प्यारे माधव की जय, मोर मुकुट वाले बंसी वाले की जय।
राधा रानी की जय, प्यारे माधव की जय, मोरा मुकुट
राधे रानी की जय, प्यारे माधव की जय, मोर मुकुट वाले बंसी वाले की जय।
राधा रानी की जय, प्यारे माधव की जय, मोरा मुक्ता वाले बंसी वाले की जय।
राधे रानी की जय, प्यारे माधव की जय, मोर मुकुट वाले बंसी वाले की जय।
राधा रानी की जय, प्यारे माधव की जय, मोरा मुक्ता वाले बंसी वाले की जय।
राधे रानी की जय, प्यारे माधव की जय, मोर मुकुट वाले बंसी वाले की जय।
राधा रानी की जय, प्यारे माधव की जय, मोरा मुक्ता वाले बंसी वाले की जय।
राधे रानी की जय, प्यारे माधव की जय, मोर मुकुट वाले बंसी वाले की जय।
राधा रानी की जय, प्यारे माधव की जय, मोरा मुक्ता वाले बंसी वाले की जय।
राधे रानी की जय, प्यारे माधव की जय, मोर मुकुट वाले बंसी वाले की जय।
राधा रानी की जय, प्यारे माधव की जय, मोरा मुक्ता वाले बंसी वाले की जय।
राधे रानी की जय, प्यारे माधव की जय, मोर मुकुट वाले बंसी वाले की जय।
राधा रानी की जय, प्यारे माधव की जय, मोरा मुक्ता वाले बंसी वाले की जय।
राधे रानी की जय, प्यारे माधव की जय, मोर मुकुट वाले बंसी वाले की जय।
राधा रानी की जय, प्यारे माधव की जय, मोरा मुक्ता वाले बंसी वाले की जय।
राधे रानी की जय, प्यारे माधव की जय, मोर मुकुट वाले बंसी वाले की जय।
राधा रानी की जय, प्यारे माधव की जय, मोरा मुक्ता वाले बंसी वाले की जय।
राधे रानी की जय, प्यारे माधव की जय, मोर मुकुट वाले बंसी वाले की जय। राधे
रानी की जय, प्यारे माधव की जय, मोरा मुक्ता वाले बंसी वाले
So, welcome to class. Okay, so as you're ready, come up into a comfortable seated position. Pressing down into the sit bones as you extend up through the crown of the head. Just taking a moment to come inwards. Closing your eyes. Drawing all of your attention inwards. Beginning to take deep breaths in and out. Inhaling belly, abdomen, and chest. Exhaling chest, abdomen, and belly. Breathing. Noticing that as you direct your attention to the breath, the body naturally becomes more relaxed. The mind gradually becomes more quiet. Feeling yourself settling in. Bringing the hands together in prayer position. For our opening intention. May this practice lead us from the unreal to the real. From darkness to light. And from a time-bound state of consciousness into the timeless state of being. It's the way we approach our practice that offers and affords us our freedom. In Jabukwan. So as we prepare for our practice this morning, I wanted to share with you another couple lines from the article that Gurdev wrote that, again, it's in Talent LMS, it's in the files section of your program, but he very much wants you to really have an experiential understanding of what the posture of consciousness is. And how we use the edge and we use intensity in our bodies that arise from the yoga poses to transmute mental and emotional and physical blockages from something that would previously inhibit and encumber us into an opportunity to not only clear out the blockages that inhibit us, but also pave way for freedom of thought and mind and peace and well-being. So what he said is mental and emotional blocks are built in the form of toxic energy blocks in your body. This appears in the form of tense muscles or tight joints. So think what's happening in a yoga pose. Tense muscles and tight joints are becoming very, very obvious because we're moving into the body. So this is the edge. This is precisely where the alchemy happens. So many times we think that the edge is the problem. We think that the tight muscle is the problem, the tight joint is the problem, but this is actually where our opportunity is. You're practicing what he calls the turnaround technique, where you withdraw from reactive thoughts. So, why is this tight? I don't like this. This is hard. Get me out of here, whatever it is. And you drop back into the feeling body. This is where sensations are independent of the mind. So, oftentimes, when we feel something in the body, our mind automatically has something to say about it. So, in Amrit Yoga, what we're doing is we're learning how to approach intensity from a place of non mental thoughts, staying at the level of sensation so that we can move deeper into our bodies, deeper into our poses, independent of what's programmed in our mind and our emotions. So then he goes on to say that finally, when you release the posture, you instantly enter the energy body so fully and so completely that you bathe in the ecstasy of being in your body. So after all of that intensity has come up, we're skillfully working with it. We're not going to the mind. We come out of the pose and bam, lots of energy. Meditation automatically begins to arise. Your body, once again, truly becomes the temple of God. So many of us think that once the block is gone, once the thoughts are gone, once the joints open, once the muscles open, then my body can resemble the temple of God. In the approach of the posture of consciousness, what we're seeing is that all of these things are opportunities to put us in connection with the temple of God itself. So they are our opportunity and not our hindrance. So that's what we're going to be looking at this morning. So again, we're going to take a deep breath in, close the eyes. Exhale, sighing it out. And coming in touch with what's happening in the body. And from this connected space, slowly and deliberately begin to come up into a standing position. And again, just as we practiced yesterday, there's opportunity in the transition. See what you can feel, see what you can notice. Show up. Standing with your feet together, hands in prayer position. Pressing down into the feet as you extend up through the crown of the head. Drawing all of your attention into the body. In preparation for Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale as you extend the arms directly overhead. Palms together, fingers interlacing into temple position. Arms to the ears and slightly back. Drop the tailbone firm through the buttocks and inner thighs as you press down into the feet. Maintain this as you extend up through the spine, out through the crown and fingers. Draw the low ribs in towards the spine, relax the shoulders slightly. Chin parallel to the floor. Breathe fully as you hold. Noticing that as you hold the pose, intensity begins to arise. And instead of relating to this intensity from a place of fear or judgment or avoidance, See if you can use this intensity as a place for you to practice being with what is. Staying with sensation at the level of the body. Using your breath. Seeing if you can point your inward gaze at the strongest point of intensity and use your breath to begin to diffuse it, making space for it. Full breath in. To release, exhale, lowering the hands down through prayer position. Slowly, slowly, feeling each changing sensation as it comes to pass. Releasing the arms by your sides, close your eyes. Immediately dropping all of your attention inwards, diving into sensation. Following the release inwards. Separating your feet hip distance apart. Pressing down into the feet as you extend up through the crown of the head. In preparation for standing squat, Utkatasana. Inhale as you extend the arms out in front of you, palms turned down. As you exhale, bend the knees, press the hips back as though you're about to sit into a chair, thighs approaching parallel. Drop the tailbone, lift the chest and sit up. Extending up through the spine, out through the crown and fingers. Shift the weight slightly towards the heels. Breathe fully as you hold. As intensity begins to build, see if you can stay with it at the level of sensation. Not trying to make it go away, but instead being willing to feel what's happening at the level of the body. Use your breath, taking full breaths, allowing the breath to carry you. To release, press into both feet, straightening the legs. Release the arms by your sides, close your eyes, immediately diving in. Following the release of sensation back to its very source. Separating your feet hip distance apart if they're not there already. Pressing down into the feet as you extend up through the crown of the head. Interlacing the fingers behind the back, elbows straight. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, draw the shoulder blades together and down. In preparation for standing yoga mudra. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, press the hips back as the upper body extends forward. Shift the weight slightly towards the balls of the feet. You can bend the knees if necessary. Extend the arms up off the low back, and if there's room, extending them up towards the ceiling. Release the head and neck. Now coming only to the point where you feel your edge, the intersection of your ability to relax with your tendency to react, finding that sweet spot. This is a mudra, a redirection of energy. The ego mind bowing below the heart. So whatever it is that needs to be let go of, see if you can let it go here. To release, bring the arms to the low back, lowering them down by your sides. Bend the knees, lowering your hips, coming into a gentle squat. Again, release the head and neck. If it's available to you, closing your eyes. Feeling the opening in the body here. And as you're ready, coming into a position seated on your heels or any other comfortable seated position where the spine can remain tall. Immediately drawing your attention to the center between the eyebrows, the third eye. Allowing the impact of practice so far to begin assimilating. And as you're ready, lowering yourself down onto your abdomen in preparation for Cobra Bhujangasana. Placing the forehead on the mat. Palms on the floor, fingertips in line with the shoulders. And press the feet together and down. Press the pelvis and palms into the floor. Inhale as you lift forehead, chin, and chest until you reach the navel. Extending back through the toes, forward through the sternum, out through the crown, elbows in and back. Breathe fully as you hold. Now pay conscious attention to your feet. Press them together and down. Extending back through the toes, forward through the sternum, out through the crown, feeling long line of extension. Breathe. Making space for what's here. And to release, lowering back down. Turn your head to one side, extending the arms alongside the body. Allowing the body to be pulled down into gravity. Dissolve. Now prepare for boat pose Navasana, placing the forehead on the mat. Separating the arms 45 degrees away from the body with the palms turned down. Bring the feet together and then separate slightly. Inhale as you lift legs, upper body, and arms simultaneously, extending back through the toes, forward through the sternum, out through the crown and fingers. Breathe. Breathe. Long line of extension back through the toes, forward through the sternum, out through the crown and fingers. Inhale. As you exhale, lowering back down. Turn the head to the opposite side. Whole body heavy. Feel. Press the palms into the floor. Body coming up through table, resting the buttocks on the heels, coming into child's pose. Forehead on the floor, arms alongside the body with the palms turned up. To release, slowly, slowly beginning to rise up. All of your attention in the third eye. You can remain in this position or come to a comfortable seated position for a closing meditation. Spine tall. Taking a deep, slow breath in. Exhaling through gently pursed lips, as though you were blowing through a small straw, sheetly breath. Following this breath at your own pace. Tension suspended between the breath, the upward momentum of the third eye. Allowing that breath to naturally dissolve. Merging into complete stillness. Slowly begin to bring your hands together in prayer position. Jai Bhagwan. So we'll have about a 5-minute break. Gurudev should be joining us at 1/2 the hour.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Om Namo Bhagavate
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om 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 Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Good morning, everyone. Once again, so nice to be such intimate connection with each one of you. How to make that intimate connection is also very important to know. That connection cannot be made through the mind. So when you operate from the mind, whenever you go somewhere, you do something, or you are with someone, when you are interacting with them, usually everyone interacts through the medium of the mind. And we don't even question that that is not the connection with the person you are with or situation that you are facing. Why? Because your mind cannot see what is present just the way it is, or who is present just the way that person is. Your mind is already pre-programmed to see through the reactively processed memories of the past. And the memories of the past is what we call PTSD, is I would say pre-programmed stress disorder. But in this case, stress disorder. I have replaced it with memory disorder. See, when you say stress, it's such a vague concept. Where did you connect with the stress to get rid of it? But I have represented with PTMD, memory disorder, rather than stress disorder. We want the whole practice of yoga is about how to reconnect with Christ consciousness. And it is Christ consciousness is not just like one conscious, it is the one consciousness that is given many different names. When Buddha attained the same consciousness, it is called Buddha. Krishna attained Krishna consciousness. All the different masters who retain it, they give it their name. So Christ consciousness is already inborn within each one of us. So I want to, and Christ says that your body is the temple of God. This is the most profound statement that I find in Bible that is so much significance in the practice of I Am Yoga. Why? Because most people do not know that our body is the abode of being that I am. That being is called Christ consciousness. In general term, in yoga, we call it being that I am. So whenever I tell you, because somebody had asked me a question, what is Christ consciousness? So whenever you are going back to the source of the being that I am, you're returning to the Christ consciousness. You can give, and then what is the nature of the Christ consciousness? What would be the experience of it? So this is what is the most important part. So when Christ says, your body is the temple of God, it is just saying what temple, what body is. What I'm explaining is how to enter that temple. That is the whole practice of I Am Yoga. How to reconnect with Christ consciousness through the practice of Yoga Nidra or yoga or all spiritual disciplines of any part of the world, of any religion, is all about that. And yet, different people get stuck with their own part of understanding. So what you are understanding now is that Christ consciousness is already inborn within you. And whole practice of yoga is how to recognize that inborn consciousness that you are. That is who you really are. But notice one thing, that as human beings, as humanity rather, has collectively evolved from subconscious animal body into self-conscious human beings. Just remember that. This is that evolution. And self-conscious ego mind that has evolved from subconscious has separated from the oneness, the being that subconscious is. This is the most very important part, because now you are learning that Christ consciousness is the being in you. That is subconscious. It is your inner body. That inner body is the abode of God within you. That is why Christ said, your body is the temple of God. This is what yogis have said 6,000 years ago. They said, so what we know today, what is that inner body? First of all, understand that inner body is called subconscious in a modern language. So subconscious inner body is functioning, what science says is automatic. Means it is like a robot. Yogis say, no, it's not a robot. It is the God himself. God itself has entered the body and animated the body. So in yogic system, what we call sympathetic nervous system is called the being that I am. And in yoga, it is called Shiva. In Bible, it is called Adam. And parasympathetic in yoga is called Shakti. And in Bible, it is called Eve. Do you understand? So this is an amazing understanding that is underneath, that most people, when they read the story of Adam and Eve and God talking, they just keep reading on. And they read of what? But this is what I am explaining to you, how to reach what is there. That is the most important contribution of yoga. And I myself did not know that until I did not read that. I had, as I told you before, I read Bhagavad Gita, Yoga of Bhagavad Gita, Vedanta of I Am Presence, Patanjali Yoga Sutra of yoga is returning back to now to the medium of the meditation. I read that, and it was explaining how to practice yoga, but I did not read it. I read it as an information. This is what I want to clearly tell each one of you, so that the Christ consciousness within you is already accessible by connecting to the body. It is no longer a vague understanding about Christ consciousness or God. So when Christ said God, the body is the temple, he said God has manifested through your body. Yogis said the same thing, but they explain how. They said that your sympathetic nervous system is activated by Shiva consciousness and parasympathetic by Shakti energy. So your body is the abode of the being. But the human beings have evolved from that subconscious body into self-conscious ego mind. So it has separated from the subconscious body of God, connection to God, and it has been born as separated from the subconscious body. This is what Bible calls it prodigal son of God. Why? Because it has separated from the subconscious God, the soul being within us, and operates separately in a differently than what God represents. So Christ consciousness within us represents the consciousness that is undivided whole. Undivided whole. It has no beginning, it has no end. It is omnipresent. That's who you are, that's who I am. But we do not know that. Why? Because we are born identified with the prodigal ego mind. And that is why, again, Christ explains, unless you die, you cannot be born again. So what he's saying is unless you die to the prodigal son, the ego mind, you cannot be born again. That's precisely what happened to Christ. When I explained yesterday, Jesus was born of Mother Mary, but the Christ was born of Virgin Mary. So Mother Mary is outside, Virgin Mary is your parasympathetic nervous, female nervous system, according to yoga. To see how everything falls in place, what is said in Bible as an information, this yoga explains it to you how to access it. That empowers you to access the Christ consciousness within you. Just reflect on that for a short time. So that answers the first question somebody has asked me. He says, can you please explain what Christ consciousness means? I have explained that in great, applicable, understandable, yogic explanation. And that is built into the practice of Yoga Nidra and practice of I Am Yoga, as well as yoga therapy. Everything that I teach is going straight to the core of the being that I am, the God within us. So let me guide you into the experience. So I can now guide you into Yoga Nidra experience right now. So why don't you all stand up? And I think today I will let you lie down and experience Yoga Nidra. So now you can stand up. And I will guide you through some stretching exercise. So interlock your fingers in front of you, and then raise your arms above your head. So this is not just mechanical movement, mind telling body what to do, but then you want to connect with God within you. So energy within you. So when you connect with your feeling sensation in your body, you are coming closer to the being, the Christ consciousness within. Just take a deep breath and feel whatever you are feeling in your arms, in your shoulders. Then bend to your right and feel the stretch on the opposite side. and squeeze. Now come up slowly. Inhale, and then exhale as you go to the opposite side. Then slowly come up as you inhale. Then go back slowly without forcing. And then steadily, relaxed way, just come back up. Lower your hands. And now come down into kneeling position. Now bend forward to touch your toes as much as you can without forcing. Relax. Let your upper body hang from the hip joints. And this is not just a movement. Pay attention to the accompanying sensations in the body. So you are connecting to the feeling, and your feeling is connection to the being, means Christ consciousness again. Relax and feel. This is how real it is to connect with your being. You're learning how to go from thinking and doing ego mind to feeling being. Feel. And do not judge what you feel. Otherwise, you create a shift from feeling to thinking again. Feel the feeling. Now slowly begin to come down into kneeling position. Lower your hips on your heels. Lower your forehead on the floor, forearms on the floor. Adjust your body so that you are as relaxed as you can be in that position. Again, every movement is accompanied with meditative awareness, mindful awareness. Means you are feeling the sensations. You are not labeling your sensations with good or bad, I like or don't like. You're just feeling your feeling. That means you're getting closer to your being. When you react to it, I like or I don't like, you are moving back into your mind further away from the feeling and being, from the creation that the body is and creator that God is. Now focus your attention on the third eye while you are there. Feel all your attention on the third eye. Keep your attention undivided. And your energy begins to follow the attention. That is the universal law. Energy follows attention. If your attention is divided, energy is divided. If your attention is divided by I like it, I don't like it, you went back into the mind, you left the body, the connection to the divine. So what you feel, allow the feeling to be go so deep that you are resisting nothing. You are saying yes to everything that you are feeling. I call it the AAA club of reality. If you belong to it, you accept, you adjust, and you accommodate to whatever you are facing in life, not just right now in yoga posture. This is where you are practicing. This is where you can take it in your life as well. Now, in a slow, steady way, with your eyes closed, come up into sitting position. And then feel all the energy that was focused on your third eye and in your Sahasrara chakra. Feel all that pulsating impulses of energy, pulsating, throbbing, energetic impulses in your brain. Allow that to fall like the rain into the rest of your body, like the rivers of energy carried out by your nervous system from the brain to every area of your body. Now lie down on your back. Adjust your body. Cover your body if you have it handy. Let your legs be slightly apart, your arms by your side. Adjust it so that you don't have to continue to move it. Once you adjust to the comfortable position, stay in that position in a very relaxed way. Now that your whole body is relaxed, just wipe your face, rub your palms. You want to relax even deeper because when you relax your face through palming the face, your whole body goes through another level of relaxation in a subtler and deeper level. Rub your palms and place your palms, bring your fingertips over your eyes, and let your palms cover the whole face. So next, take a breath in and make the sound of M with your lips closed. Okay, take a deep breath in and start. Again. Again. Bring your attention, now relax breathing, normal, no more sound. Lower your palms by your side. Focus your attention on the third eye. Space between eyebrows is your third eye spot. Nothing is done with strain, everything in a relaxed mode. Now I will guide you through the straw breathing. Just simply relax your whole body. Give your entire body to the omnipresent presence of gravity. Means hold nothing anywhere in any part of your body. Let gravity take it over from your muscles and the tensions. Let go. From this very relaxed space, I'd like you to do the same breathing we did of straw breathing, which is most powerful. If you can do it in a relaxed way and focus your attention at every stage of your breathing in, holding, and exhalations. So today you can do better because you did it yesterday. So now take a deep breath in without forcing through the nose and exhale through the lips. Keep the exhalation slow, steady, unbroken flow. Keep the opening of the lips narrow enough so exhalation takes a long time. the longer the better. Repeat again and again. Breathe in through the nose. Make your exhalations slow, steady, unbroken, long exhalation. Do not push all the air out, because to do that you have to create some tensions. You don't have to do that. Inhale through nose, exhale through straw. Just experiment how, when you breathe in a way I describe, you will find by the time you reach the end of exhalations, your energy moves straight to the third eye, where mind becomes silent, body becomes relaxed, heart opens up. All the integrations happen spontaneously. Continue the breath and notice how your mind is just like goes away so fast. You enter the third eye so effortlessly, where the mind becomes silent and your body goes back into the rhythm of polarity naturally. So next time, I want you to make the sound while you are exhaling instead of straw. Now take a next breath in through the nose and then follow me. At the end, focus on your third eye at the end of exhalation and hold there momentarily. And then breathe in again as soon as you need to. Repeat that again. Now breathe normally. and feel the energy field. Whole body is pulsating with energy everywhere, from toes to head, your arms, your legs, your upper body. Now you have completely disassociated your personal memory mind, dominating energy. So that means your energy is virgin now. It is the virgin energy that can give the birth to Christ consciousness. That means now through this energy, you are already making connection to the being that manifests through your inner body. Allow yourself to merge so completely and fully into the energy and the being. We call it prana being, female energy of God, and God, the being that I am. Now that you have completely made a shift from thought forms into formless energy, your whole energy body is now pulsating in rhythm and harmony with the cosmic energy body. Feel that you have no boundary anymore of your body. You are no longer separated from the being within you and cosmic being beyond. They are one. Feel that deep sense of union we call yoga. You have entered the Christ consciousness. Through your energy body, which is formless, you have connected to the formless being that is omnipresent, undivided whole. Recognize this is who you are. Now you are experiencing it right now. You know yourself experientially that you are that Christ consciousness. Now you are experiencing what Christ said. He shall do everything I have done and more. That means you have reconnected to the same consciousness that Christ did. There is no separation. Right here, drop your false ideas about God and reestablish your connection to God within. So now you have entered into being consciousness that you are, which is omnipresent, undivided whole. You have created a shift from ego mind that lives in the division of for me and against me, friends and enemies, past and future. Now you really know that the memory world of all the ecstasies and agonies, happiness and unhappiness, marriage and divorce, pleasure and pain, are all phantom memories of the past. Now you have crossed it. You did not solve it because you cannot solve the false problem. Memories are creating false problems. Drop it now. You have already dropped it, and that is what you are learning through this practice, how to drop it in the present moment. Past cannot be dropped in future. When you arrive, when you fulfill your goal, that is ego's domain from past to future. But ego mind cannot survive in the present. Therefore, now you have dropped so deep into the present moment that the ego is no longer dominating your body or your being. Right here at this moment, accept yourself. All the things that have happened in the past or the fears of the past, future, drop it right now. And anything unresolved, imbalance that you see in yourself, about yourself, right now, drop it. And say to yourself from your heart, I accept myself just the way I am. What you are saying is my memories about myself, good or bad. I made it or messed it up. You are letting go. These are the memories. When you let go of who you are not, who you are spontaneously emerges. The moment you die to who you are not, who you are is born. Now feel that you are completely surrounded by the protection and the guidance of the being that is already doing that for you. When you are in your connection to the Christ consciousness within you, you are simultaneously connected with all the great masters of our lineage. Dadaji, the incarnation of Lord Shiva himself, Bapuji, me, and everyone and everything, not just some selected people, but it is all inclusive. That includes all the human beings, plant life, animal life, mineral life. You are embracing the whole creation. When you are unconditionally embracing everything in creation, you are embracing the Creator. So repeat once again, and that should be repeated in every Yoga Nidra. I accept myself just the way I am. I accept the others just the way they are. I accept the world just the way it is at this moment. This you practice from moment to moment. That means you have created a shift from the memories of the past into living unconditionally in the present. Now bring your awareness back to your body. Just notice how calm your breath is, hardly there, and how your mind that is connected to it is also as calm as the breath. And your body that is also connected is as relaxed. Notice it. This means you are in an integrated experience we call yoga. Now gradually you can move your body. Just bring your knees closer to your chest. Slightly rock sideways. And then move to your left. And stay in your position of a womb with your knees a little closer towards the chest in a very comfortable position. And stay there and allow yourself to enter the womb of the mother. So that is the womb of the mother. You are in the energy, the mother, virgin energy. There is no mind there. That is the womb of creation. That is how creator creates this world through the medium of the energy which provides the womb of creation. You may now gradually come back to sitting position. Take your time. Slowly come back to sitting position. Keep your eyes closed. And you may now take the position wherever you want to sit, back in your chair or whatever is most comfortable. You may now gradually open your eyes. So I will answer some questions, which is very integral part of my teaching. The question is, but why it is so hard to maintain being in the space of God? So this is very important question, and that is the most important part you must understand, so that you can learn how to return back to the being that you are again and again, particularly when you find yourself facing some challenges of life in your love life, family life, work life, or social life. You can learn how to create a switch from reactive ego mind to non-reactive prana being. And that is the whole practice of yoga. But why it is so difficult? Because whenever in your childhood, in your early innocent years, whenever you were exposed to some kind of a pain or threat that made you very unhappy, you had no defense to protect yourself. And that gets registered in your unconscious as a threat. Or when if the parents tell you, you will never make it, you always make a mistake, you are wrong, something like that can get registered and hardwired, particularly when you are in a innocent state where you are so receptive to whatever comes, what is thrown at you, and you have no defense. Then it becomes very difficult. At that time, your body is receiving the threat not through the mind, but directly through subconscious, instinctive protection. And when it is instinctive, it is very quickly hardwired. Similarly, when the soldiers suffer from PTSD, they are also exposed to the instinctive fear of real threat to life. That's not psychological reaction. And therefore, those PTSD or PTMD, I call, they get so hardwired in your memory, in your biological energy blocks, and your memory blocks in your brain, that this is all held in you to protect you in future if you've come across the problems that come from outside. So not only that, but after the children begin to grow up, they have the ability to protect themselves, but they don't know how to. This is where comes the teachings of I Am Yoga. This is what I'm explaining to you, how you can protect yourself by witnessing your own reactive thoughts that come from your pre-programmed memories of PTMD from the past. So whenever someone triggers your reaction, they are not causing it. Then what is happening? At that time, when they trigger your reaction through look-alike memory association, So you immediately, the memory goes right back to the memory of whatever it connects to from your PTSD. So this is what those PTSDs, they are, even in your adulthood, when you have that abuse from the husband or a children or a wife or a business, and it comes in many different forms. So whenever that comes, if it is received by fear, fear for human beings represents the instinctive fear to protect yourself from the real threat to life. But for human beings, it is the fear that appears to be real threat to life. Therefore, every time you process something through fear, it gets equally as hardwired as the instinctive fear. So instinctive fear is inborn within us, and it only has reaction when the real threat is present. But human beings also carry the fear in their memories of the past. And then when that memories are triggered by someone, your fear acts as if it is a threat to you. No, it is to your memories. That's where you are learning the whole secret of yoga, that it's all about how to withdraw from the memories of the past. And when you know the secret, how to do that, it's easy. It is not quite easy, but it is, you can do that, something about it that you can do nothing otherwise, that otherwise psychology tries to remove by finding out who caused it. No, it is not who caused it. It lives in you, in your memories, that is closer to you, and therefore you can solve it. That's why the Patanjalis said one most amazing thing, that yoga begins with witnessing the modifications of mind. That's right there is the secret of how to erase so difficult memories of the past. He says, this is the secret. And that is the practice of yoga. He says, in very first sutra, he says, the discipline of yoga happens now. That's most amazing. What he's saying is, what you want in the end must be present from the beginning. So how have we integrated that into the practice of I Am Yoga? I often would tell to the class, you must have in the beginning what you want in the end. And then I explain. If you want the mango tree in the end, start with mango seed. If you want samadhi, the highest state of integration that yoga is, then you start with integrative intention as a seed from the very beginning. Now you get it, right? That is the way to remove these impressions. But why it is so hard to maintain being in that separates us from the God within? So it is so hardwired that we have protected ourselves through fear. And this is as powerful as the instinct. Instinct protects you from the real threat to fear, real threat to life, and the fear protects you from the false threat to life that is not real. So how to dismantle it? So yoga says, witness the modifications of mind. What are the modifications of mind? whatever the thoughts are always about two opposite thoughts, almost always, like what you like and what you are attracted to and what you are afraid of. That's called modifications of mind. They are having division of reality. So when you divide reality, so what is reality? Your whole creation is the creation of polarity. And animals live in the instinctive body of polarity. So their inner life and outer life is in perfect harmony. Why? Because they connect their inner life through instinct to the outer life. So they don't have the mind like humans have. So human beings, they operate in the outer world through the reactively processed memories of the past. And memories creates addiction to the pleasure and fear of pain. So every time you are interacting with outer world, it is either you are trying to get what your addiction to be fulfilled by the one who reminds you of the old memories, or the memories of the enemy who reminds you of your memory enemies. So what is inside, held as a memory, appears to be outside to the reactive perceiver. This is where yogis say that people are living in the world of illusions. Not that the outer existential world is illusive world, but the reactive perceiver that superimposes its reactive perception over who or what is present sees its own memories appear outside. That's where all the illusion. So then most people all their life are involved in solving memory friends so that they're trying to find them and trying to run from memory enemies outside. And in doing so, they are using real energy of the body. And that is why, this is why it is called the prodigal son of God. So the prodigal son, when he finds himself so bankrupt of energy because he has so abusively used energy, then he suffers so much from loneliness, isolation, stress, and conflicts within that begin to manifest in the outer world. So when a person has stress, progressively, if that stress gets stronger, he progressively withdraws himself from full interaction with their love life, family life, work life, or social life. Then this is what the addicts are. They withdraw from all and they would attend to the inner stress relieving addictions. This is why this yoga is about before the prodigal son gets too far in trouble. If you understand this, you can return to the being that you are, Christ consciousness that manifests in and through your body. So you are not the God manifests through you. And that is inborn as a divine potential. Your body is not you are, your being is who you are. But the body is the medium through which it manifests. So you have to connect to the body to connect to the being that cannot be connected directly through the mind. Do you see? This is the most profound philosophy that I discovered, and then I built it into the practice of Yoga Nidra and I Am Yoga. So I wish every one of you will take some of these courses and study more in depth, because what I tell you is just, it escapes you in the beginning. You think you understand but it's not established enough. It's not clear enough for you to embody the power of practice of what you have understood. So it has to be integrated through the practice of Yoga Nidra or I Am Yoga or Yoga Therapy. This creates an amazing transformative shift. But it does not come like it said. Somebody asked question, why it is so difficult? Because that is why Patanjali answers that question. He says, Abhyasa, constant practice, Vairagya, total detachment from the future, living in the present. Vairagya means living in the present. So this is all about living in the present. How difficult? Very difficult. Why? Because the compulsive force of unconscious self-destructive habit is so much that your mind is controlling through the compulsive mind, compulsive thinking. And so your life is more like you are living like a slave of your habits. What is yoga? To use your mind, your slave, so it does what you want it to do. Right now, it does what is programmed to do and compulsively. How did ego get to be defaulting me? Tell me something good about ego's role. Why do all the yoga practices try to banish ego, leaving it to no place to be? This is a beautiful question. That's all I talked about the entire time. So this is why in Bible, this ego is called the prodigal son. And it is not that ego you have created. No, it is a natural evolution from the subconscious instinctive energy body into self-conscious ego mind. That is given. So we are all born identified with ego mind that functions out of the reactively processed, distorted memories of reality. Right there, you know the problem. Ego is not a problem. The memories that you identify with is the problem. That is why I call it PTMD, memory disorder. Do you understand? So once you understand, it is the memory. In yoga, that memory, unresolved memories of the past, is called karma. So that is the karma. That's all the yoga is about, how to withdraw from your karmic memories of the past. That's it. So there is something good about, tell me something good about ego's role. The ego's role is played out through the mind. Your mind could create a hell for you as well as heaven for you. So it can create either one. But it is not a good ego or bad ego. That division itself is a ego. So when you don't divide, it is a good ego. When you divide, it's a bad ego. So the ego means division. It creates division and separation from no matter who or what is present. It creates division from you to yourself, you and other, you and the world. So So this is why ego can be used in a very creative way if you learn how to master your mind. That's what I was saying, that you right now, your mind is operating from the 90% of your pre-program unconscious memories of the past. This is not, I'm not making it up. 90% of your perception, seeing and interacting with life happens out of pre-program compulsive habit patterns and behavior patterns. Compulsive means your life is the slave of your 90% pre-programmed past. That's ego. Now, how to make it good? That's what I have been talking about. Everything yoga says and what Christ said is what helps you to step out of the ego. And so what I say is ego is a masked God. Ego is a masked God, and God is unmasked ego. So that is why whole yoga is about unmasking the ego. So, and that as you unmask, peel layers by layers after layers of karmic memories of the traumatic past, the light of the being that is hidden, that is camouflaged behind it, begins to shine brighter and brighter. So yoga, then it becomes a self-discovery process. So so now you don't have to look for a good ego or a bad ego. You know how to create the freedom from the past. Why do all yoga practices try to banish ego, leaving it no place to be? No, it does not get eliminated all of a sudden, so you have no place to be. It is a gradual process. And as you eliminate ego, you eliminate suffering and reactive interaction with yourself, others, and the world. So you are getting better progressively, if you want to call it. You are getting into better ego than a self-destructive ego. You see how that works? So let us have the last few minutes of silence. Again, rub your palms and bring your palms. Put your fingertips over your eyelids and cover your entire face where your palm is closely hugging the face. Now feel the radiating energy from your palms penetrating all the expressions and tensions on your face. Let them all melt away. And then slowly bring your palms back in your lap. And with your lips closed, take a breath in and then bring the sound of Om with me with the lips closed. If you practice this yoga nidra every day, it erodes all the layers that cover the being presence, the Christ consciousness within you. So the practice of I Am Yoga, you heard how Nirali guided. You practice it with conscious awareness. Release the tensions consciously. Break down the barriers built into your body. And the same energy that is trapped energy that is released is now connecting you to the Christ consciousness that you are. That is how simple it is. This is no longer a concept of God, believe in God. This is called directly connecting to God through the energy of God. So you may have some more questions, but almost every question that I have received is answered in my talk. You might have to listen to it again and again and again. If you listen to me 20 times, I assure you, each time you will hear something new that you didn't hear before, that you couldn't hear before. So I would suggest that practice repeatedly and also read repeatedly. Listen to the teachings repeatedly. And things will become clearer. And your questions will be answered from within. Thank you. So nice to be with you today. And I greet to the divine within you. Jai Bhagwan. I'm so glad that so many of you have come so close, and we can be so close, so personally, so intimately in your privacy. But that happens when you keep your mind clear and all disturbances out. Then it becomes very becomes energetic connection. Have a nice day. Have a nice life. Jai Bhagwan.